So hello and welcome to the Expat pod, and welcome to the shorter quick-fire questions version of the podcast. Today I'm joined by Molly, and if you haven't listened to our full episode yet, please do go after you've listened to this podcast, go check it out. We talk all about Molly's life living in Costa Rica from the US. Molly, this is kind of a bit of fun that I do with my guests after the kind of main bulk of the podcast and the main kind of storylines we've talked about, but I'm just going to ask you 10 very silly questions or simple questions, which, give me a true answer for, but it's just a bit of fun. I'll start off with my first question, which is, what's your favourite place you've ever lived?
Well, I live right on Lake Arnold in a town called Tronadora, and I love it here because it's just beautiful. There's rolling green hills and a lake and a volcano in distance, and it's just an absolutely beautiful place to be.
Sounds like a paradise.
It really is.
Wonderful. And then what's your favourite international food?
Kebabs, hands down, kebabs.
Were the Turkish ones or?
I guess so. In DC we have all kinds of different kebabs, but super basic, like kubide, some bread, and some, yogurt sauce. I'm all in. Little fresh parsley, I'm in there. I love it.
Have you got a favourite place to have a kebab, or is it just the experience of the meal?
There's a place called Moby Dick that's a DC-based, operation, and they got good stuff.
To try and find it next time I go to DC. Well, everyone's listening, please do go check it out.
Moby Dick.
So my next question is, what's your favourite international tradition?
Well, my favorite international tradition, I don't know if I have one. Well, I guess technically St. Patrick's Day is an international tradition for me now since I live in Costa Rica. So I'll go with that one. That sounds...
Yeah, because it's originally started in Boston, wasn't it? Because it's not even Irish. It's people in Boston started St. Patrick. No, obviously St. Patrick exists, but
right.
The kind of elaborate nature of it was from Boston, because it was obviously where a lot of Irish people moved to.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and like the whole green beer, all that. We can't claim responsibility for any of that madness.
Yeah, I've never seen green beer. Guinness is what we have in the UK for St. Patrick's Day, because my family came from Ireland.
Oh, well, that's what makes it so great. I'm very Irish. Well, no, in Chicago they dye the river green, the whole river. And in the pubs, they serve green beer. It's the most offensive thing ever, honestly. It's just Irish people don't get too upset. We're like, oh, whatever. We're not offended. Just pour me another one. But it really is quite ridiculous. Like, we're not all leprechauns. You know what I mean? Enough with the green beer. Like, good Lord.
My next question is, what's your favourite thing about living abroad?
Not living in America. The weather. Getting to spend so much more time outside. DC, we have 4 seasons. Most of them are a lie. You know what I mean? Being able to spend so much time outside has been really great. Really great.
Yeah, we have 4 seasons too, but it's made the hotel chain, I think. So it's just wet and rainy.
Well, yeah, DC is like that too. You wait all winter for it to get nice, and then it's nice for spring, and then it goes straight into summer where it's 106 degrees. You know what I mean? It's like you're always waiting for the next season because it's going to be better, but then 20 years go by. So, yeah.
Completely. And what's your best homesickness remedy?
Jameson. I used to drink a lot of Jameson back in DC, so when I really feel the urge to reminisce, I'll turn on some go-go music and pour myself a little Jameson and take myself back to DC.
Oh, wow. Do you by yourself, or do you call family or friends when you do that, or is it just
whoever's around, really, but sometimes you just got to pour yourself a nip of Jameson and enjoy life,
Completely. That's great. What's the hardest thing about living abroad?
Just sometimes things can be difficult, if you're trying to call a company and it's all in Spanish, and, it can be a little overwhelming sometimes, and you feel like you need to ask for help a lot. Although that's not really difficult for me. I learned a long time ago, having so many surgeries, how to ask for help. But I think just kind of maybe the disappearance of people in your life. When you're gone, like I said, it's hard for people to, you're not really top of mind anymore. So, you really have to maintain those friendships back home. And that can be tough sometimes. Completely,
yeah. You make a good point with it can be quite a mental strain living in another country where your language isn't the first language, because you're constantly trying to think about stuff all the time. I think when I first went abroad and went to the supermarket, I spent 2 hours there just having to read every label and work out what was what, because the products you have on there, and it becomes quite difficult.
It can be stressful. And for me, I found it very humbling, which I think is really good that I have to think about what I say before I say it, because I think things were just moving out of my mouth a little too fast. So it's been very good for me. And like, if I can make somebody laugh in Spanish, like that makes my whole day. I'm like, yes, I still got it. But yeah, the distance is different. The currency is different. The time of day, it's in military time. The Celsius, Fahrenheit, everything is different. So you're constantly like doing math. And I think for most Americans, that's a good experience. I think we could all use a little bit of more of that.
The measuring system.
Whatever y'all call it. But yeah.
And what's the best phrase you've learned whilst living abroad? You can translate it from Spanish if it's Spanish or anything else.
Pura Vida, pure life. It's like, in Costa Rica, it's like, people say Pura Vida in a lot of different ways. If you're being a real jerk, you might get the Pura Vida.
It's quite versatile.
Yeah, it's like hello, goodbye, I love you, I hate you. It can be used in a lot of different ways, but I can't tell you how many times I've just been like, Pura Vida, like, sitting on my porch, the volcano in the distance, toucans flying by, monkeys out. I'm just like, this is the most pure life. I mean, this is real, or out on my friend's boat and there's a school of dolphins and sea turtle. It's like pure life. It's like living in a video game or something, you know what I mean? Or like a painting. Like me and my friend were joking, it's like living inside of Zelda. Like it's not real. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, that's probably why I like it here so much. Spend a lot of time playing that game. But like it's pure life and just spending time barefoot and being dirty. It's like all the best things of being a kid. Like having your bathing suit on all summer, that kind of stuff. It's like pure life, man. Pura vida. That's the thing.
That's incredible. I love how passionate you talk about Pura Vida as well. Like it really comes across when you started describing what's around, and you kind of came through as I guess the meaning of a phrase for you, which is wonderful to see. What's your best way of making new friends?
You just gotta put yourself out there and be the kind of friend that you would like to have. Including people, creating opportunities to get together. I think it's easy for people to feel like, I never get invited to anything. Well, when was the last time you invited anybody to anything? When was the last time you organized a dinner at your house, right? We can't all sit around feeling bad about not being included if you're not creating things to include people in too. Everybody's sitting around feeling bad about not being invited to stuff that doesn't exist because nobody's doing it, right? So I think, if you want to be a good friend, if you want to have friends, be one. Yeah,
I feel more anywhere in the world as well, even back home, especially as we get older, friends, you learn to realize that, you don't need certain friends if they don't add value to your life, and you can be a bit more picky, and definitely it's all about being the friend first, and good friends stay then because they realize that you're a very valuable person to have in their lives. What's the best thing to do in your new kind of home city town?
I love being on boats. Being on a boat makes me happy. I can be on a ferry and I will be happy. Like, I love boats, and so I love going to the beach and going out on my buddy's boat. Like, nothing makes me happier. I love being on the boat, on the lake, at the beach, anywhere. Live for being out on the water. Being able to see that open horizon and see how small and powerless and silly I am and how anything is possible. And there's something about going out on a boat and looking back at the shore where you live that really makes you appreciate I live there, like this is my home now. So yeah, boats are my happy place.
You should go visit Sweden in the summer at a place called Marstrand, where it's like a little island. You get a ferry across, but it's a huge boat week there, so everyone sails over. Swedes are obsessed with boats. They all tend to have one or share one with their friends. It's pretty cool, pretty good way of life, I think.
Well, if there's any Swedish men looking for a husband, vacation home in Costa Rica, you heard it here first. Or looking for a wife. I just refer to myself as a husband. Damn it.
And then my last question is, what's your best expat life hack?
My dual SIM and my cell phone, hands down. Physical SIM for the local number and an eSIM for my US number, and I have WhatsApp for both numbers on my phone. I have everything for both numbers on my phone, so I can still do my FA, security stuff, and I can get calls from the US, but also have a local phone. And I feel like a mad scientist having figured that out and set it up myself, because I don't have to walk around. Whenever I go back to the States, I'd have to walk around with 2 phones, a U.S. phone and a Costa Rica phone. And it's just a matter of time before I lose one. And you look like an idiot drug dealer walking around with 2 phones. It's just super annoying. You know what I mean? So, and it's always the question, how do I keep my number? Blah, blah, blah. Well, iPhones, actually, you can have up to 10 eSIMs in them. So anything is possible. But that is the greatest, traveler's hack ever, is the digital SIM,
It is amazing. My son's stupid now because I had 3 phones in Sweden, because I have my personal phone, my English work phone, and my Swedish work phone, only because I needed it. But also the key to my house was on my phone, so actually it was my spare key was a spare phone. So having 3 phones was quite useful.
Right, but at the same time, we don't have pockets in our clothing, so 1 phone is hard enough. 2 phones is like, okay, I'm just walking around with 2 phones in my hand all the time, So.
Yeah, and if it's like you said about, leaving your phone on the side, it's advertising that you've got phones to steal or whatever. It's quite...
People are like, why does she have 2 phones? Who does she think she is, But more importantly, I don't want to carry it around. It's just 1 phone. Perfect.
It's hard enough keeping 1 charged up, you're right, yeah.
Really, and then I'm taking pictures of 1, posting with it's a little bit much. So yeah, dual SIMs for the win.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me and having this conversation. I've thoroughly enjoyed just learning a lot more about your life, and your energy and your enthusiasm about living in Costa Rica really has kind of made me feel happier just listening to your stories and seeing the joy in your face when you talk about your new home. So thank you for that, and thank you for sharing your Monday afternoon with me. It's been wonderful. And similarly, if you have enjoyed the podcast, have enjoyed what Molly and I have talked about, please do let us know. Please do get in touch, and please do follow or subscribe, or however it is you're kind of engaging with this podcast. Please do more of that. And we'll see you next time for the Expat Pod.
Thank you so much.